We are here with Kehuka Muru. Sir, thank you for joining us. He is the chairman of the CNCCI, the Confederation of Nagaland Chambers and Commerce and Industries. Thank you, sir. We are here to talk about this whole system of one tax, one government that sir's organization, the CNCCI, and as well as many others, including the business community, has been fighting for with the multiple taxation. Many are bearing the brunt of it. And sir, we're going to just get some highlight from you on this issue and where is it going. So first of all, how long will the Naga people wait for this one government, one tax? It's been a long time coming and it is not happening, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the time. I think taxation issue in Nagaland is a very big issue now, especially concerning the business community. And we have been raising this issue for so many years. I was the co-convener of Account movement in initial 5 years. I was also the founding general secretary of Business Association of Nagas. And since then, even during that time, we have, been talking about one government, one taxation. And it's almost now 10 years in the line when we have been talking about one government, one taxation. And for me personally, I still stand with that that slogan, that there has to be one government, one taxation. Now, again, like when we talk about taxation, I mean, if you go by the theoretical terms or in political terms or in terms of taxation, business terms, I think it has different connotation. But for Nagas, it has become a very standard, term or nomenclature that anything that anybody's levy becomes a tax. We call it as tax. So in Nagaland, we have a multiple taxation especially again, it's very taxing from the taxation that has been raising from the different Naga political groups. Now, one government, one taxation, again, has, as I initially said, I think we need to understand the existing state government and then the Central Union of India's taxation, which are paid through income tax, or for that matter, through GST and various other forms. So that is one taxation, and that's something a different group. Here we are talking about another section of taxation, that is taxation by various Naga political groups who has their own parallel government. Yes. And everyone collects taxation through their setup and through their government, which is again stated as or claimed or as an taxation, and it's a bounded duty on a citizen to pay such taxes. But I think it has to be practical now. A person cannot pay multiples in terms of 20s or 30s of taxation. Nobody will survive. I think this is one, I think Nagas should be very proud of, not the Hornbill, but the number of taxation that we have, that nowhere exists in the world. Imagine having to pay about 20 plus taxation to various stakeholders, not only factions, but government is there, the legitimate state government is there, the central government is there, and about multiple, factions, factions. So I think it's unsustainable, but this question has to be raised to the state government. We have been, in 2021, I had statewide ban, one-day ban. And we have clearly told the government, asked the government, whom do we pay tax? Right? We have questioned the government whether the taxation levied by them is legal or the taxation levied by the another forces is legal. They have to clearly tell us, the business community. Because if they say that they are the legitimate stakeholder to collect tax, then they should rein on. They should take care of that the other section are not imposing tax. But if they say that, okay, here we are not the one, so it is fine, it is a legal taxation which is being levied by my other factions, then we are saying that well and good. We will not pay you, we will pay these factions. So this question has been going on for last 3 years. I think recently I had a conversation with the media fraternity also. And I have once again raised the issue that government has to come out clearly, whom do we pay? So I think at the end of the day, it is unbearable. We are on the verge of breakdown. And I also appeal to the various Naga political groups that I think what benefits us if there is no one, to enjoy the fruit that we have been struggling for last century to come into a political solution where we dream of a better future. I can solve khatum kuri dile if we milk out everything and if there's no one to see to it or enjoy that, what is the point? I think it's time that we all put our heads together and streamline this entire taxation thing.
Coming back to the Naga political groups, there are multiple taxation from these groups. Right now we have officially, I think, 17 groups, and if every business establishment is going to pay to 17 groups, be it a mere few hundred rupees or again thousands and thousands, so why should these people pay to all of them? You have said, right? That is the main question. There should be one government, one tax. But then people are still doing it. So is it a fear of these political groups that this is happening? Because I don't see people coming forward and saying, "Moi na dibo, moi kile dibo." A lot just end up giving. So what do you think is the whole basic state of it?
No, I think in the process, I've also come across a realization by certain Naga political leaders. They acknowledge that it has become a real burden. So I think more or less the public, the business community, and even the Naga political groups are in a state of hurry, to come into a conclusion of our long Indo-Naga political issue to be settled at the earliest. And I think that's one right direction we are moving ahead, because unless and until we achieve that, I think this issue may still linger on. But again here, the issue is the government of the state government has to clearly come out, okay, this is a way out. We cannot have an unfriendly business system. We cannot have such kind of environment where business can be flourished. So if the state government admits that, and if they can work a way out, that where it is, mutually helpful for both the Naga political groups, the business community, the public, I think that kind of and stop-gap arrangement could also arrive at. But the thing is, the state government is so silent about it. Now, if they are so silent, I think we have no choice, but we have to go to the street, right? But we are being patient, we are being kind, enough to be patient, for some time.
How long will you be patient for? How long will the business establishments in Nagaland, and especially Dimapur being the commercial hub, how long will the silence go on for?
No, I think, as I've said, in 2021 we had a one-day shutdown. And I think the state government took some initiative, which we wrote back to the chief secretary stating that those are the steps which we are not at all happy with. And this time also we have raised the same issue, and we are waiting and watching. But as I've said, there is certain realization from all the angles, all the stakeholders, be it Naga political groups or business community or from civil society or from that matter the state government, that the things have reached a stage where, hey, we also need to step back, look at things, state of affairs, and we need to understand each other's reality. So I think more or less that consensus is building up. So I think we are in the right direction. But there has to be someone who has to take the initiative, you know. We are the voice, we are shouting about the pain, you know, difficulties we are facing. But it is end of the day, it is the state government who has to take the lead role in, you know, bringing all the stakeholders to streamline the entire issue. But that thing is not happening. And we are very dissatisfied with the silence of the government. Now, today, you know, we have a G20 summit, we have a global business forum, but unless you have a conducive ecosystem for having a business, you know, running a business, how do you attract an investor? How do you even think of starting a business that is worth, you know, mentioning when you have such a situation? So I think it is good that we are trying our best to, you know, attract investment or do something, which I'm saying is not bad. It has to be, the effort has to be done. But I think basic things has to be put in place. If at all those ideas are to take place, if those ideas are to be materialized, you know. So I think down the line, government of Nagaland has to do a lot of work, homework.
Coming back to again these political groups taxing the business establishment, usually a tax is taken for development works, and you know any government that levies tax is for development works. So where is this development going when they're levying these taxes, huge amount of taxes, and why isn't nobody demanding for this development from these political groups?
I think again, that is a question that should be directed to those Naga political groups than me, because I am not privy to what money that they have collected they are used for, you know. So I think they are they are the person who should be justifying what are they doing with our money. But of course, when we pay any taxes, it is very logical and in very simple layman terms, there has to be some accountability. And at the end of the day, we need to understand that, you know, today nobody may be asking accountability because of the fear of gun. But tomorrow there may be a time when people may ask for accountability. And we need to, the Naga political groups also need to be abreast of what they are into it. Because tomorrow, if the demand for accountability comes in, I think all of us will have another round of big unrest, social unrest in the state. So I think everyone has to think twice before, you know, just putting hands to grab the money that is in the market or with the people. So I think that they should be the one who should be answering that.
But do you think that business community should demand, where is this money going? Where is my money going?
No, of course, we always, I think that's something we have been always being told, you know, that the negotiation is going on. There is an expenses on their end, you know. So, or for that matter, they have to take care of their administration, what not, excuses are there. And that is how they have been collecting their taxes. But I think down the line is, again, from our end also, okay, fine. But how long, you know? That excuse cannot go on for centuries or for decades, you know, altogether. So down the line, somehow it has to come to an end. And I think, so both the negotiating parties, with the signing of framework and agreed position, I think it's on the right direction. But I think with the signing of that, the public have been made known. This is not my statement, okay? The state government has clearly in the public domain has stated that the negotiation has come to a conclusion by 31st of October 2019. Now, that's where now the question of accountability comes. If the negotiation has ended, why has it not been signed? If the negotiation has been ended, then where is the question of further contributing, be it We say contribution, some say taxation, some say collection, right? But whatever nomenclature you use, but what is the point of sustaining beyond 2019, right? When you say that your struggle has come to a logical conclusion with the signing of those two agreements, and then your negotiation has been concluded. So that statement is not from my end. It's a statement from the state government of Nagaland. So I think the parties also has to be responsible enough to execute. Come to a conclusion. The solution should be inked, and then the state government has to take a serious note and then facilitate it. So I think. It's not time to fool around the public. Neither can the business community close our eyes and say that we will keep on sustaining this forever, So I think that it's not my saying. That is what the undercurrent is saying. So all the parties need to understand this perfectly.
According to reports, the NSC and IM, I think it was last year that they had said that the multiple factions was not birthed by Nagas, but it is a very sinister plan of the central government to diminish the whole Naga political solution and to let it to be in chaos, basically. Do you agree with that? Is the IM trying to pass the buck or wash their hands off from this multiple taxation?
Esther, I think I'm not a politician. I mean, not into politics or any factional politics, so I am not the right person to comment on that. But ultimately, when you are fighting with your adversary will try their best to, bring you down. What else? You also need to understand that you have an adversary, so you need to put your house together. So I think blame can be also be there, but we need to also move back, take a step back, and then see where have we failed, and where have we failed to come as a family, So I think that is there, and then just because, for us it's very simple. Whether there is one faction or multiple faction, but it has to be streamlined. We also have a life. We also have a family. We also have a society. We also have a church. All those things we have an obligation. It's not like people think that businessman earns, but if you are doing an honest, genuine business, your business profit is very small. If you are into unscrupulous, way of making quick bucks, that's different. But an honest person sitting over a shop or a counter doing genuine business, how can he sustain his family, his business? Instead of every businessman dreams of growth, But here we cannot think about growth. We are thinking about how to sustain the small business we have. So that's a very sad reality.
Lastly, sir, one last question. A lot of business entrepreneurs, business establishments, and entrepreneurs, they are obviously paying taxes. And we have also, our network has received many of those receipts. And it is illegal, but then now, what is your advice to all these business entrepreneurs and establishments that receive these receipts and are asked to pay certain amounts to different groups? Do you think they should go to the police, go to the different various organizations such as CNCCI or BAN or the admin? So what is your advice to them?
Yeah, I think from our part, I think we are their ways, the CNCCI. So what grievances they have, what issues they have, we are voicing that out, right? And there is an authority that redresses that. There is an authority that is in place that will give a redressal to that. And I think the state government or state police or every other agencies have made it very clear that, and even given out lots of publicity, contact numbers, I think where they can lodge a complaint, if they have a grievances. Now, I think any organization or any business body cannot be around in every nook and corner 24/7. I think if a businessman feels that he or she has been oppressed or a wrongful act has been done upon them, I think they have a redressal mechanism. They can always flag an issue with us to give them a support, But they also have to take their own, be little courageous to take their own stand, rather than like fuming at home or inside the shop. That certain kind of courage is also required. So I will definitely suggest that that we are not the competent authority for such redressal, but we are there to help each other. We are always there.
The lawful way to actually do it would be to go to the police, maybe?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There is a redressal mechanism in place everywhere. I think they should not hesitate to take the redressal. Yeah.
So that was Dr. Kekuga Muru. He is the chairman of CNCCI, and he has been very vocal about the one government, one tax in Nagaland. And he has also said during this interview that he has questioned why is the government silent, firstly, and second, the business establishments in the state is having a breakdown at the moment due to multiple taxation. And we should also question, this network is questioning the government, why are you silent? Esther here with camera person Hinoka for Nagaland News Network.